sweet spot. Only one dollar to hit the sweet spot. Sugar on my fingers, glaze on my chin. Cheeto deep fried. Only $1 to hit the sweet spot. Couple pennies in a cup, crumbs on the floor, crumbs on the dash, crumbs on my shirt. Give me sprinkles, give me jelly, give me plain. Only $1 to hit the sweet spot. Only $1 to hit the sweet spot. Sugar on my fingers, glaze on my chin. Cheeto deep fried. Only $1 to hit the sweet spot. Dollar bill, sugar bill, $1. That's not sweet spot.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. We're getting a special brush hour. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see me? I am getting over what I assume is con crud. I was under the impression that maybe it was allergies, because I didn't have like typical symptoms of a cold or something like that. But I don't know. It's been like 4 days of yickiness. And so you could probably hear it in my voice. And I was going to try to stream yesterday and I'm like, I can't. I'm coughing like too much or sniffing or, all the stuff that goes with, when you get down with the sickness. And so today, though, I couldn't help it. I'm like, we saw the reveal of Star Fox. Just going to get into it, guys. Welcome in, and thank you so much for hitting us with the sweet spot, iCanalist, straight off the bat. Appreciate all of you, but I don't have a lot of time. I mean, I do. I have all day, but I'm just afraid that I can't talk too much because it dries out my throat, and then it's like, and nobody wants that, and I can't even laugh. Like, it's terrible. That's so silly. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. I'm Dreaming Tabitha, an artist here on YouTube, and today we're going to be doing Star Fox. If you guys haven't seen I think it's the last official trailer for the Mario Galaxy movie that's coming out, and let me tell you, I can't say that I was like looking forward to this next Mario movie. I liked the first one, and I'm going to go see this one with some friends, and I'm going to enjoy it, right? But it wasn't until the reveal of Star Fox that got me excited. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised I could do that. I like Star Fox, okay? Look, call me crazy, even though I've spent hours upon hours playing Super Mario World, and Mario 64 was like such a game changer for me. Star Fox was just so great. And I understand that maybe there's some people that are like, look, it's not the same, get over it, whatever. But Star Fox Adventures was so fun. And then when I did have the remake, or was it the remaster of the like OG Star Fox game, I had that on my 3DS. Man, it was so good times be happening. And I tell you, as my neighbor used to say, I tell you, this moment here, I don't know if you guys are able to hear all of this, but like, this is so
huge universe out there.
Like I said, I don't know if the sound is coming through or not, but look, number one, look how beautiful.
There's a lot of galaxies.
Like, I might pause though. I want to get to the part that excites me the most. Okay, there's two parts that excite me. Is this the trailer I was trying to find? Oh no, is this the wrong trailer? Hang on, let's just play through. Where's it at? Is this the wrong trailer? Where are you at?
We gotta get everyone out of here.
Oh crap, I think I found the wrong trailer. That's okay. I'm assuming you all have seen it, but that really bums me. Like, I had this all planned. I played this. It must be the wrong one. Where's Star Fox? Oh, and then there was this one. Was she in it? 13 days ago. Okay, you know what? I ain't gonna play with stuff that I don't know how to do. I ain't gonna do it. So not only are they having Star Fox, which gets me so actually excited for the game or the movie, They also gonna have Princess Daisy. Now, I don't really know a lot about Princess Daisy, I'll be honest with you, but she was always, like, my favorite because she was brunette. I'm like, so I was tired of all these stinking beautiful blonde princesses. Give me the brunettes. And so I saw I saw Princess Daisy was in the trailer, but like I said, we're all here for the Star Fox. And so I was like, I've got to draw it. I've got to. And so here we have my creation thus far. I quickly, surprisingly, I was watching Moss while he was playing Crimson Desert, and then I was watching Sevi while she was playing Crimson Desert, and I just sketched this out. And I just sketched this out. Let me tell you, I do not do weaponry very well, and so I'm pretty happy with how this pew pew has come out. We're gonna fix things a little bit later on as we do our line work and whatnot, but overall, I'm happy with it. I did simplify the design a little bit. I do have my reference over here, and it's gonna be great. You can see, like, the sigil is not all the greatest and whatever, and I'm trying to get better at fabric because something that makes a picture look really great is fabric, like, how you do the fabric. So I'm on my journey to try to get better to that, but let me tell you, I am really, really looking forward to the Mario movie now. I was okay with going to see it before. I'm really looking forward to it now. But let me say good morning before we start drawing. And yeah, good morning, DL. I might not be able to hit you all with the level of excitement that I normally do because of my voice today. Larry Knight, hello and welcome in. Icanalus. And then let's see, we've got Grape over on the kick side as well as Larry. Good morning, good morning. Rizkit for the biscuit. Mando Unchained. I was doing that Rizkit. Hot water, and I was mixing it with like salt and apple cider vinegar and all the stuff. Don't worry, but my voice is also worn out like this because of the cough. So it gets, it's part of the process. I've actually recovered very quickly, all things considering. Stephen Brown, good morning. Wasp is here. Good morning. Good morning, Wasp. Such a lovely lady. It was such a pleasure to meet her and talk with her. She's so lovely, so lively. I don't know. Moss. I'm so sorry. Wasp. I don't know. I don't know what her whole life has been like, but man, she just seemed to like just enjoy life every time that I saw her at different points during MegaCon. And I'm like, I need to be more like Wasp. Like she just enjoys life. So much a pleasure to get to know you. That's right, Vindicta. I never got around to doing the Vindicta artwork that I really wanted to do. I'm gonna do it. Because it's kind of was a passion project. I wanted to do some fan art. And I don't think the hype is over just yet, just because the book got released. But I know we all know Nomi is excited about the casting. I haven't talked to her about it yet, but the thing is, I don't even remember what Glenn Powell sounds like because I'm not like a Glenn Powell fan, like fanatic, but he's got a foxy, sneaky, snikey little look to him, so I think it'll work out just fine. I'm not even gonna look up what does he sound like? I'm just going to be pleasantly surprised. I will say the commercial that he did, or whoever did, which featured him bouncing around in the theater, was like the dumbest commercial I've seen in a long time. Like the laziest, saddest commercial I've ever seen for a grand reveal, maybe ever in my life. Okay? I said what I said. I said what I said. That was it's like a really big lip. So if you see my whole face having to get invested in drinking my beverage, I got this at the 9 Line meetup in Daytona. Look at that. 250 years. Heck yeah. America. This is a hefty thing. Like you could bludgeon somebody with this thing, and I love it. I mean, if that's not American. You're on the road this morning. Well, safe travels. Beach Dad, good morning. Hi. JM the Elite fan, the fan. I thought Fantastic was mad at me. Let me tell you, this man, so friendly normally. Look, I'm just gonna hype him up. Got these beautiful blue eyes and just an interesting take on life. And I thought he was mad at me. What's wrong with blonde? Sevi, I love Sevi. Sevi's amazing. And if you know her true roots, you'll know why we get along. Real Steven TV, hello. Hello, hello. Am I getting everybody? Maria, hello. I am feeling better, but my throat has not caught up with the rest of me. Marie, are you in the DR book? Are you talking to me? I'm not that I know of. Shark bait bullet, hello. Oh, we are dedicated to the cause. That's right, Vindicta. I did do some Vindicta fan work. Hang on. We did have, I know. So I've been behind on the art parties and everything. We're going to have the art parties again with a twist. But when we had our last art party when Vindicta was being released, we designed book covers, like alternative book covers. And we had to incorporate a snail. So there's my snail. And I really like this. And Mo told me that it reminded him of Tailspin. And Eric, Dreaded Dinosaur, the artist from Vindicta, was like, I really like this. And I'm like, I like it too. It's a little whimsical, very stylized, but I like it. I like it. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, Larry's been subjected to the nonsense as well. Oh, I'm always sick and tired of nonsense. Yes, it's not exactly a jacket. I know. I don't know what it is with dudes, but like they seem to have a problem with these like half cropped hoodie things. I don't know what they're called. They're basically just sleeves, but it keeps things regulated. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like my whole body is warm, just my sleeve. I wasn't gonna wear it, but then I was in here. I'm like, it kind of looks a little bit spacey. It's got buckles on it. Moss told me I looked like I was gonna fly a plane or something like that. And so I guess this is my emergency release tab. And I'm like, and it's got a hood and everything like that. I don't know. It's comfortable. It's fine. I don't know. The dudes have a problem with it. The real Joe Rosie told me she liked it. So that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. Yes. I'm gonna file a complaint with HR to make sure you're in the book in book 2 then. You know, I'm not a big tattoo girly. I don't have any tattoos. But if that's, I mean, I don't know, maybe I need to take one for the team. Maybe I'll get just like a tiny little thing right behind my earlobe, that nobody can ever see, just so I can make it into book 2. Just fatigued. Yeah. Oh man, I tell you, it took me the story here. It took me 2 days to mentally recover because for those that don't know, I am naturally an introvert. I'm known as an omnivert, right? So basically, I'm an extroverted introvert. Most people that meet me, they don't know that I'm introverted, but I am. I don't get my charge from people. People are great most of the time. Some of the time, and I enjoy small circles of friendship and whatnot. And I can hobnob with the best of them, but I need time to recover. I need to be in my space. I wasn't able to draw for the entire week, and that is like my recharge. It's so great that my job is my hobby, is my therapy. I love it. I'm so blessed in that capacity, and not being able to do that for the entire week, plus being around literally thousands of people every day was a lot. So it took me 2 days just to recover from that. And then I got sick. So physically, it's taken me a week to recover from MegaCon. Ooh. Let's see. What? Yes, I go sleeveless, and that top is throw off me kilter. Stephen Young, good morning, good morning. The Patrick McCartney. Do a barrel roll. You don't have to. What do you have to do? Tell me the secret, Rizkit. I thought you had to get a tattoo to be in the book. Is there like a donation? You wish, Maria, you want tats? Girl, I didn't think you didn't strike me as one of those people. As one of them. You didn't strike me as a Hell's Angel, Maria. Let's see. No, I'm not a tattoo girly. I'm not, for personal reasons, like several personal reasons. One of them is that I don't like being touched in the same spot over and over again. And I know with tattoos, because you have to do that line where I used to draw on my body, and that was kind of fun, but I would also get really irritated. I don't like it. I don't like it. So the fact that, like, I've had my family members tell me it's like it's like being touched by a red hot scalpel. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you. I'm good. Thank you. I say I like persons, not people. Yeah. Irish Jedi. We got to meet at MegaCon. Let's see. If the Nintendo store had a Fox McCloud jacket, maybe. I do love me a really nice jeans jacket. That used to be my attire of choice before I moved to Florida. Oh, I think I heard about that. To be fair, I don't know. It'd be hard. I don't know. Maybe there just needed more guys than they needed women. Money for them bills and real life. Well, Maria, I mean, I'm not necessarily an advocate for tattoos, but in this instance, YOLO. Yeah, Rizkit would look amazing in this jacket. Many people would. Yeah, you know something's going to show up, something. So, I think we said hello to everybody. And then if I did check my donation box over on PayPal, somebody has decided to bless you all this morning.
You, Lord, for steak on my table. Glory to your name for every bite so flavor. Seasoned with mercy, grilled by your favor. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, blessed be your name. Oh, blessed be your flame. Sizzling joy, joy in every mouthful. Thank you, Lord, for steak. Oh, blessed be your name.
Let's get into it. For those that don't know why we play steak, a generous donation was made to PayPal. And so for that, you don't have to be through PayPal. You can send supers and whatnot, but it was $50 for steak, Maria for 2, French fries for 5, the dinosaurs. Oh, I need to update. Like, that's on my list. I need to update this because we've also included the sweet spot, the donut. Only one donut to hit the sweet spot. The fried chicken, and Mo's personal favorite and Maria's least personal favorite, dinosaurs. Stomp, stomp, roar, roar. Let's dance like dinosaurs. Oh my gosh. By the way, like, I haven't showcased this piece in a while. I haven't done a comic strip in a while, but like, I was reminded of this last night. I was watching Epic Mike play Resident Evil Requiem. It was so funny. It was so funny. I don't know. Mike's my favorite. I say that all the time and a lot. I can't help it. Mike is great. Anyway, oh, Rizkit, for the biscuit. Let me use as much voice as I possibly can for this. As gifted 10 Dreaming Tabitha Live membership to the community. Maria, plug your ears. Stomp, stomp, roar, roar. Exactly. Blessed be your flame. I love that song so much. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, I believe, will now have access to coloring pages. I'm going to make sure that this is going to be, I'm going to get this up as fast as I possibly can. We're going to attempt to do the line do the line work today so that hopefully over the weekend you can download the file, print it out, and color it. You can also join me over on the free page over on Patreon, where you can upload any artwork you please. And if you want to, you can color this and then upload it to Patreon. Go to the Artist Alley. It's a free chat. And you can showcase your artwork, judgment-free zone. I don't think people fully understand that. It's like you're not going to get criticized for your artwork at all unless you ask for it. And if anybody dares to break those rules, you get kicked out. We got a strict no judgment zone policy there in the Artists Alley. We've had 3D artists, we've had people who paint, people who do watercolor, all the stuff. And I love it. It's so great. So feel free to share over there, but we're going to work on the line work today. I'm also trying to dual work here. So I've got a secondary camera pointed over here. I need to get one that's from above so that it can, I don't know. I'm going to see if I can make the most content out of this that I can. Hail, Kohlhauser. Good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. You got the dreaded you did get the dreaded dinosaur. And then Larry, what you doing over there on Kick? Oh, gosh, my voice. 10 gifted subs. What we doing? What we doing? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate that. I'm going to use that money to bless other people. And then also maybe to get a new throat. All right, here we go. I'm going to make a new layer over here. And I've been trying to play around with line work, right? And I try not to overcomplicate it. But I'm looking at my reference over here and I'm trying to figure out like what colors. But I know I can always change it later on. Maria's like not listening. By the way, if you didn't see my MegaCon haul, I got some really cool stuff. I got a signature from Orlando Bloom. I got a rubber duck that looks like Gollum. What else? A whole bunch of other stuff. Shout out to Deanie from Comics and Cosmetics. She got me this really cool, Comics and Everything. Old habits die hard. But we got to meet for the first time, and she gave me this really cool Harry Potter bag with some little goodies inside of it. And also, I don't know if he wants me to mention it, but I did do some commission work for someone about Power Girl, and I never knew anything about Power Girl. And so this person gave me several comics of Power Girl to read. I think it's 1 through 4 so that I can get more knowledge about who this character is. They were describing her history, and it sounded like a really interesting story. I'm not much of a comic book girly anymore. I used to be, but maybe this will get me back into it. Maybe I just haven't read enough ones. Or it's like they say with books. It's not that you don't like to read. You just haven't found the right book. And I will say, Caro Brown, her Dirty Deed from Rippaverse, her Dirty Deeds comic series, I loved. And I ordered her book. But because I'm more of a novel girl. And so I'm so excited about that. Also, I want to say thank you to my subscriber. I got the most amazing gift, the completion of my Funko Pop collection. Came yesterday from the fans. I got Qui-Gon Jinn Funko Pop. I don't know if they want me to say who it was, but shout out to you. Look at that, my favorite Jedi. And so now my collection is complete. Maybe I'll do a members vlog about all of my pieces and what they mean to me, just for you guys. If you want to see my whole collection, my collection is now complete. And it's probably not the collection you would anticipate. And not only that, I got two. We're just living in the space. We're just living in universe right now. I got the dark side blend of Joffrey's coffee, Darth Vader coffee. It's actually so good. It's so good. It's dark roast. Normally, I'm like a light to medium roast kind of girly, but I don't know why I'm saying girly. I don't say girly ever. I think I've been hanging around Nomi too much. Nomi, no, but it's so good. Thank you. I had some this morning and I got 2 bags of this and it's so good. So good. But thank you. If I forgot anything, I apologize. It's been a long year. All right. What color what color should I outline him in? Yeah, it is a Nomi expression. I've just been around Nomi too much. Too much. Too much. All right. I'm glad it's over. All right. We're just going to pick, we're going to go with this color, but I'm going to make it dark. And we're going to go with syrup because that's the brush that I always use. And I typically start out with 6%. And we can change up the line work as we go because the weight of your line work really shows like some differentiation between the different parts of your character. And then I think I saw some new people join in really quickly. Lieutenant, good morning. Starfox looks like the most complicated piece you've done this so far. Yes and no. Actually, if you look at the community tab for the channel, my most recent post, you'll see that was the most detailed chibi I've ever done. I humbly request you go look at it, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment of what you think about it. I'd love to know because that was a lot of fun to do. So I think I got it. Matthew, hello. Rumor is the artist years back didn't think the editors were paying attention to Power Girl comics, so he kept enlarging her chest, and that's why she ended up so top heavy. I can believe that. Cavantino, good morning, good morning. Nomi is an awesome person. I'll admit it. Fine. But anyway, all right. Let's get started. Let's get down to business. So I had a lot of fun with this because I've not really been, I've said this before, drawing chibi animals or animals as chibis is not really my strong suit. And so with the work that I've been able to do with Canadian Bear, hang on, I don't like the ears. No, they do kind of, which I've been asking some professionals for some help on Canadian Bear. There will be an update in the future, the near future. I got to get that done. It's my passion project, but I've been asking some professionals now that I've got the story completed and I have the characters like fleshed out and all that stuff. I'm like, where do I go from here? And I reached out yesterday and they were like, do this. And I'm like, you got it. Anyway, I typically draw people, humans. And so, oops. So this will be like fun, and so with the Canadian Bear has helped me to get to this point, which is so cool. So one thing lends to another. I'm not sure how loose I want to be with this. I feel like it's been so long. We're going to just try it. We'll adjust as needed. I don't want to have the fix it later mentality, but it's more of like get started and you can go from there. Thank you all, by the way, for being here on Saturday, for your generosity, for dealing with this. Appreciate it. Please be sure to hit the like button. I'm learning new methods too. I'm learning new methods of design. And so I just trying new things, it's just the creative process. That's just how it goes, ever evolving. Never enough, never. All right. No singing, Tabitha, because that dries you out. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I used to do Saturday streams more often when I would have people on and teach them how to paint. Like when I would do the Joys of Painting series, that was my time slot, was Saturdays, because I wanted it to kind of be like Saturday morning cartoons, like people would get up on Saturday morning, and I need to revisit that. I've been trying to figure out when I want to get back into the book. If you know, you know. Excuse me. I'm sorry if you hear all the swoosh. I forget that the mic picks up a lot of sound, so I apologize if it's gross. Something I'm really excited. Did you see the poster? Oh my gosh. I wish I could post it, but I want to make sure I get the drawing done. The poster for Star Fox or War Fox is just like, it's just him. So I'm really excited about this piece here. This red section here, that would be the green visor part that goes over his eye and I guess gives him a bunch of information. And I'm really looking forward to trying to use the fancy stuff that's in Procreate to try to make that look really cool. We're just going to have some fun with it. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate all of you. All right. We will... Got some cool stuff. We're going to be getting a new latte art video for members and patrons as well. If you saw my sheep latte video, it didn't quite go according to plan. I thought it would be easy. We did what we could, but Nomi when she was here, she stayed with me. If you guys saw our milkshake, our Double the Nomi milkshake stream, you'll see that, well, no, not in that, in my MegaCon vlog that I'm going to be releasing, she showed me some tips and tricks. I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus, Leonard. I wonder if I need to do all these pieces separately. I think that might be it. So let me do like his head, because there's something about it I don't like. There's something here that's missing now that I'm getting the line work in. I know his snoot is a little short for a fox, but I want him to look a little more foxy. Oops. He kind of has this overhang, this jowl. We're learning. I don't know if that helps. It kind of helps. Kind of helps, I think, a little bit. Let's make this, oops. I think that kind of helps. That's what your sketches are for. That's why it's so important. And I hope you don't mind a slightly quieter stream this morning, because I can feel my throat protesting. I'm not going to do the pupils because I think I need to redo those. I am a little bit bothered by the weight of this one. I know that I need to go back later. I should just get everything done, but I don't want to miss it. You got to go with your instincts on that one. Kohlhauser for 2. Check out Japanese Beast Wars or Neo. Japanese?
So they're going to try to take these.
Maria for 2. Okay, I will. Kohlhauser and I have this rivalry going on, where he's wrong and I'm right. Beast Wars is amazing. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. I love Beast Wars. But I understand that if you grew up with the originals, which I did not, they're probably subpar. Probably. You know it's true. But I will. Japanese Beast Wars or Neo. I've never heard of that. I heard last night that Nomi was upset that she got busy and could not spend quality time with everyone. Nomi was upset. I texted her. Nomi. Quiet is good, no worries. Beast Wars, yeah, there, thank you. No, everybody's got their preference. I get it. But you know what? At the end of the day, whether Beast Wars 2, Japanese, whether it's Star Wars, at the end of the day, the best thing ever is Stargate. I'm sorry. I said what I said. Better character design, great for drawing. Okay. All right. I'm pretty happy with the one that I drew, but I will have to look. I do love good character design. Retro Collective, good morning. Hello. It's morning, right? Yeah, it's still morning. How are you doing? Christian Rocker, good morning as well. Hello. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, Stargate. That's right. For the win. It's perfection. I'm not happy about this new show that's coming out. I'm not happy about it. Cancel it now. Kill it. Obliterate it where it stands. Hollywood has not healed yet. Cinema has not healed yet. Give us 10 years. Give us 10 years. And let's circle back. Let's Jen Psaki it and circle back. Okay. And then we'll have this talk again. I'm like peeved because they now with what they're doing with Lord of the Rings, what they're doing with Harry Potter, what they're doing with every other franchise, they're literally destroying core memories of every franchise. And I'm not okay with it. It's already bad enough that Stargate Universe was just like fell off the rails. I'm like, then just leave it where it is. Don't mess with perfection. We don't need a reboot, and we really don't need more. We need new. We need new, which is why people like me and many others, Maria and my friend Danny over at Comics and Everything, are creating our own stories. By the way, Danny from Comics and and Everything, she used to be known as Comics and Cosmetics because she would do makeup. She's a professional makeup artist, also a VFX smart artist. And she would do cosmetic, like she would do really amazing face makeup to go with the comic book characters that she was doing. But I think she realized that made her a little bit too much on the female niche perspective. And that was not what she was trying to do. She wanted to appeal to everybody, but that was her strength. So she's revamped her YouTube channel to where she does everything. That's why she's Comics and Everything now. She didn't want it to be just female only, right? She does everything. But she's developing her own comic book. And I've read her book, and then now she's adapting it to comics, to a comic form. She's already got artwork going. She's already got like a bajillion backers. I'm so proud of her, so happy for her. So anyway, you've got people like us, independent creators and artists. It's like, let's create something new. I have several ideas that I've got brewing on backstage here. We're going to start off with Canadian Bear, something simple, something fun, something for the little kiddos that has no agenda, that has wholesome themes to it. It's not pushing a narrative other than be kind to people just because they're different from you. Spoiler. But it's going to be our little, if you guys don't know, if you've just arrived, our little, here, I'm putting down here, here's a little one in the bottom, but this is just a rough sketch of our little Canadian bear friend. And it's going to be a story. It's going to be a little book for the little ones. because the little ones need books too. You know what? Moms and dads need to spend more time putting their little ones to sleep and reading something wonderful to them that has a good message to it. And that's what I'm going to, set out to do. But I also want to make adventure stories for kids of all ages. Like that's been a dream of mine ever since I was a little one. And so that's what we're working on. And I'm appreciative to all the people that have supported. But yeah, we don't need more Stargate. That's stupid. We need good. If not, we just need new. We don't need old. We need new. I love Stargate. And if they could make a new TV show that's wonderful, great. But I don't think they can yet. So, I saw they put it up on Netflix. I don't have a DVD player. I have the whole series of SG-1 on Blu-ray, and it's signed by Terrell Rothery, Dr. Fraser. I got to meet her at SpaceCon. She's so sweet, and she signed it. My favorite doctor besides Beverly Crusher. But both. Why not both? Both. Well, yeah, it was too dark and it was too adult. And I think that's the problem also with the current situation with most cinema right now. And like I know it's not Tuesday, but I'm going for the hot takes today. We have too many adults that are obsessed with taking their childhood or their young adult franchises and trying to mature them for now. And it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Hang on, I got to calm myself down. That most people, at least that I see on the internet or have conversations with, but not everybody, right? Their idea of making things more mature is simply having sexual content in it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Stargate, SG-1, Star Trek, Next Generation, all had mature themes in them. And by mature themes, I mean complicated scenarios that needed to be navigated carefully and with great patience, compassion, forethought. Because being an adult isn't about what's going on in your pants. I'm just going to say it. Being an adult is navigating tricky situations and handling it without selfishness and base desires. Sexual activity does not automatically make something mature. If anything, it makes it more adolescent. Okay. Throwing half-naked women everywhere, throwing naked men everywhere, I'm trying to keep this a family-friendly channel, okay? Like an adult. Having people, inner relationships, open relationships, that is not adult behavior. That is actually adolescent behavior. This is the type of behavior that you have when your frontal lobe or whatever they call it, when the front of your brain is not fully developed. When your brain is fully developed, you don't behave like that. You don't behave. Mature adults do not have open relationships. Mature adults don't stare at everybody that's walking around and thinking about them and lusting after that. That is not adult behavior. That is childish and immature behavior. I say childish only in that it's immature. It's not actually childish. Let me rephrase that, because children don't think like that. And people thinking that children do is a problem. That is adolescent behavior. Because teenagers, when their hormones are raging and their brain isn't fully developed, all they can think about is selfish desires and how to satisfy them. They don't even know what's happening. They don't even know why it's happening. It's just nature taking its course. But they need adults to teach them how to be mature and handle what's going on inside. Right? But now we just have adults. I just want mature content. Why can't it be more mature? What does that even mean anymore? Most people I see, when they say they want Star Wars to be more mature, they just want more sexual content. They just want more drama between relationships. They want them to deal with the hard parts of life. No, they don't. No, they don't. For the most part, you want adult content, real mature content. Watch Star Trek Next Generation. Watch Star Trek Next Generation. I have not read what anybody has said because I might be going too deep. Yeah, exactly. They're like, either we need people to fornicate all the time, or we need people to have their heads chopped off all the time. The more, the better. And that equates to adult content. It doesn't. It equates to laziness and childishness. Immaturity. Let me stop using childishness. Immaturity, because children don't do that. Hey, Logical Spark, good morning. That is not to say that dealing with base desires, and there's many forms of that, but when you're talking about, again, trying to keep this family friendly, when you're talking about your attraction to the opposite sex, that is not to say that's not a problem. Like, again, I go to Star Trek Next Generation. There were times when the characters were strongly attracted to other people, and they had to consider the consequences of their actions. If you get involved with this person, and a lot of times it also had to do with like interspecies stuff, like as far as you take, oh shoot, what's her name? The empath. Well, she wasn't an empath. She was known as it's been a while since I've watched Next Gen. Deanna Troi. I forget what she's known as, but she was half and half. Her parents had to consider what the repercussions were for having a child like that. She wasn't fully betazoids. She wasn't fully betazoid, right? And so they had these moments where they had to navigate, okay, I have a natural desire to do this and that and the third with so-and-so. And I forget what episode, there've been numerous things where it's like, if you get involved with this person, you can't take them with us. And they had to remember that they were a member of Starfleet. And that came with big responsibilities. You can't just bring a family along. Although families in Next Gen were allowed to. It was like a different type of idea where it's like, what if the families could come with us? But that came with consequences. These were real scenarios. One of my favorite episodes, that's quite the gray zone. We need to draw. One of my favorite episodes that is quite the gray zone was when Deanna's mother, I forget what her name was, that insufferable woman. She's so good at her job. Let's go ahead and just do a different layer. I feel like I need to. I'm going to do it in kind of a bluish gray color. I'll darken it. I just feel more comfortable this way. She fell in love with, I like to say she fell in like, but she had developed feelings for this one man who was from a planet where they would, I don't know what words I'm allowed to use on the YouTube sign. They would discontinue the life of their elderly at a certain point. Because on their planet, excuse me, that was looked at as a responsible action towards the youth. Their world did not have a lot of resources. And so they wanted to be able to provide for their youth. So in their culture, when you got to a certain age, you gave up your existence. You voluntarily gave up your existence. It was part of their culture. Now, we don't agree with that. However, but this was the whole thing about Star Trek, was like, how do you navigate this? These are different worlds. Who is better? Blah, blah, blah. But that was such a morally gray area, but they showcased because Deanna's mom was trying to convince this guy, don't do it. Don't do it. You have a life that you can continue to live. This is selfishness. And he's like, how is it being selfish? He's like, I have children, I have grandchildren, and I want them to thrive. If in his culture, he's like, if I choose to continue living, I'm being selfish. And she couldn't fathom that. Now, again, I disagree with this, and this is all hypotheticals, right? Because our planet has plenty of resources. Don't let the media lie to you. We have plenty of resources. But that was a real problem. She was in love with this guy. We didn't need to see them taking a roll in the hay, okay, in order for this to be mature content. This was mature content. This was heavy in the feels, heavy in the reasoning, heavy in the logic. Woo! That was tough. That was rough. That was a rough episode to watch personally, because I'm like, wow, how would I deal with that situation? I didn't need to see man parts and lady parts in order for it to be mature. Just saying. Yeah, always a hot blonde. Stinking blondes. Stinking blondes. Hey, Creatorverse, it's already hard enough to find stuff for the kids to watch. Luckily, my little girl loves Scooby-Doo, 100%. Being an adult should be responsibility and sacrifice and all that entails. It is often brutal and heartbreaking, not hypersexual and not selfless. Exactly. And that's the thing is, like, we all understand that marketing, it's a business. I get it. You know, what do they say? Sex sells. Always has. That's why they say you throw a beautiful woman on the front of a car holding a chainsaw, men will buy it. It's just whatever. It's how we're made, how we're geared. But for quality TV, the creators of certain franchises understood that's not the core essence. That's not to say in like Stargate SG-1 and all this kind of stuff that there weren't sexual tensions between characters. There were. But even, spoiler, but even in Stargate SG-1 between Carter and O'Neill, they had to recognize that if they gave into their desires, it would compromise the mission. And they were soldiers first. They were soldiers and protectors of the world at that point first. And that builds a beautiful drama. It builds a beautiful romance, right? And that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Or like, are they going to get together? Are they going to finally admit? When does that happen? Instead of having all this, I mean, my goodness. Yeah. Adult is shallow and surface level. Yeah. Thank you, Deanna Troy. There it is. And the other thing is too, that when you perpetuate this idea that mature and adult content, it's now become literally, when you say something is made for mature audience or something that is adult content, automatically means that it belongs on a shelf in the dark corner of the building behind a curtain. Little kids can't go see that. And so now it's created this idea that being an adult, and look, I understand that there's some conversations you don't have with your kids until they're older. I understand that. We should not be subjecting children to things that they cannot handle. I get that. I'm all for that. There's a time and a place. But we're teaching children that being an adult just is like having to deal with your base desires all the time. And we're also teaching them that it's normal. It's normal to cheat. It's normal to have multiple partners. We're teaching them that it's normal for marriage to not work out. It's normal for dads to step out on their wives. It's normal for women to step out on their husbands. We're teaching them all the wrong things. Why? For drama and easy, like, because basically clickbait for TV, you know. And shame on the men and the, you know, specifically the women too. I don't know what is wrong with the women, but these women that love like Love Island and stuff like that. Look, I understand. Like, I'm not hating on people that like it. Like, they're like what you like, but it's also about the responsibilities thereof. You know, if you keep liking it, that's what they're going to keep making. But I am not going to sit here and say that I've never indulged in trash TV, because that's what it is. Like, it is. It's not educational, sort of. Sort of. To some extent, it is educational. So, one time, last year, I think it was, my best friend and I, we have very different tastes in media and stuff like that, but we have very similar, I don't want to say, we have very similar morals or stances on entertainment. But she was like, okay, don't hate me. She's like, but I started watching Love is Blind. And I'm like, dear God, why? She's like, just hear me out. So anyway, so she gave me her reasons and stuff like that. And she's like, I think it would be fun. She's like, what if you watched it and then we just talked about it? I'm like, okay. So I did. And it was kind of fun. It was stupid, but it was kind of fun. And what I realized, what I learned, what I was fascinated by was how invested I was self-aware enough that while I was watching this, I was like, I'm invested in this. I want to know what happens. And then all of a sudden I'm like catching myself invested in this show. I know it's all fake. I know it's not real. I know these people were paid or whatever. Like, I know this is a gimmick. And I started studying myself as I was watching this, because I like to consider myself, fairly intellectual, fairly self-aware. And I'm like, okay, I know this is trash. Why am I so interested in it? And I found that watching shows like this, and I kind of was observing other people's behavior in this as well. I'm like, watching shows like this is like a self-gratification for self-righteousness. You watch these shows to feel good about yourself. Maybe not everybody. Some people think they're real and they want to invest, and women love stories. That's fine. They love romance and fiction and things like that. It's fine. But it was fascinating where it was like, even listening to my friend talk, and I shared my thoughts with her, that thank you, Oz, for being here. Always appreciate you. Is that I got to sit there and feel good about myself, that I wasn't as dumb as these women, or that I make better decisions with my life compared to these idiots, right? Like, that was my spirit watching it. And I thought it was so fascinating. I'm like, is this part of the reason why they make it? Because it maybe unintentionally, but like, it feeds on our pride. Like, and I wouldn't doubt, I don't know all the ins and outs of the science. I mean, maybe I need to talk to somebody, but it's like, I wonder if there's like a dopamine hit or some kind of, positive chemical reaction watching people make stupid decisions that make you feel better about yourself. And I'm like, this is fascinating. This is an interesting psychological study. So then I just kept watching. And once they, like, I'm sure you guys don't care, but at the end of the, the trial or whatever, they all either, like, I think it's like they get married, even though they don't know these people. And then they go on the honeymoon with everybody, and then that's when the drama starts of like, oh my gosh, he's looking at her and they're laughing. And that's when I cut it off. I'm like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. That's where I draw the line. And I've never looked back. But, it's just, it's interesting, but I like I've never seen it, but throwing in 7 of 9 as a sex symbol was a mistake. I watched for the other characters. Yeah, Deanna Troi was gorgeous. Let's not pretend like she wasn't the beautiful woman that was there for a reason. Much like Nichelle Nichols. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, Ahura. But they had jobs, right? And of course, the time period is different. The 60s, the 70s, very different from 90s today. Now we've gotten rid of all sex appeal, it seems like. When you look at the recent Star Trek, there's nothing wrong with regular women, but this is TV. right? Like there's nothing wrong with having regular looking women, but we can still make regular looking women pretty. Um, but Deanna's purpose for being there was to help the mission. And her and Riker had chemistry. But that was part of the show's drama, the arc. Wonderful. But they knew if they built on that desire, it would hurt the mission. Ergo, they made adult decisions about their behavior. Every now and then they gave in to showcase that they were still human and that we all have desires. We all make mistakes. We all live passionately at some point. Perfect. But it wasn't like she was going around bouncing and just tossing her hair all the time and smelling good every day. Like, I'm sure she did. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she was the beautiful woman. Because there's always that dynamic. You have that beautiful woman to look at, but you don't need her to be the it girl. Because I think Dr. Beverly Crusher was gorgeous. Gates McFadden. But she had a job to do. And she had her own struggles that she was dealing with. She was a beautiful woman who was a medical doctor, who was a mom, who was a widow, who was friends with the man that got her husband killed, who kind of had some feelings for the guy. Like, the struggle, adult situations. We'll be right back after these messages, my friends, because 1 second. I don't know. What's like my longest? I hope you don't mind. We're going to have a short intermission.
I will lead us in prayer, guys. Feel free to join us as we bow our heads and lead us into this.
Do you pray with your hands up? Do you put them out? Do you put them together? Is there a particular method?
I
that you
usually
use?
put my hands out, like as a give. We'll go ahead and pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have given us, that we are able to wake up and rejoice that we are alive and well, and be able to enjoy the little things, which is playing video games with your friends from afar. I don't know why I'm thanking you, Lord, that we're about to play this game. Let this game be a metaphor of how we can get closer to you and be better of who you are. Be better versions of us with your light. Yes, your word is a light unto our feet and a light into my path. And Lord, that I am now still feeling the effects of what hell may be like, because my sauna of a bedroom is a good example, because my AC is still broken. And I pray that you come through and you redeem me and deliver me from the hell of my bedroom.
Oh, that's gonna be us, little barbecue nomies and Tabitha's. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that was a pool!
Okay, this is not gonna be good. You have somebody who's afraid of heights, even in the first place. Went and flipped off the keyboard. We both been jumped on the first time.
Oh my god!
I'm scared.
How are you feeling? Are you okay? Trust the process. That's us screaming.
Yelling at me.
Thanks for, making our friendship stronger, man. I feel like we've reached a new level here.
Welcome back, travelers. Sorry, I needed that conversation, apparently, because it got me to cough, and I'm not going to share any more than that, and it allowed me to go replenish my beverage. So, follow me over on my gaming channel. There should be links For more crazy adventures like that. Exactly. Trust the process. I know. Wow, I can even talk louder now. Great. Maybe we should talk more like this all the time. Joe Mama. I know. All right, I gotta figure out. Is that part of the gun? Hang on. What is that? I don't even know. All right, let's just keep going. Anyway, welcome to my TED Talk. I do want to also, I'm not saying that you can't have hot and steamy moments in a TV show or something like that. I'm not going to say that there aren't moments when you're invested in a character and their relationships where a part of you is like, yeah, so, they got together. I mean, I have my own personal beliefs about Hollywood and how they portray things and whatever. But I think that because we've become so bankrupt on ideas and storytelling, and from what I've heard from a lot of people, whether it's from the romance genre or the horror genre, everything is banking on shock value now, not good storytelling. So when you have to have people half naked or completely naked all of the time, and you have to have gore all the time. I heard that was the brilliance behind what's his face? Alfred Hitchcock's films. Like, his films are great. They still kind of haunt me to this day, some of them. Was the fact that he relied so much on show don't tell, where he allowed the audience's mind to make the scenario worse than it really was. Like, he didn't have to show how people got dismembered or whatever the case. Not all the time. He let the audience fill in the blank. And a lot of times what we picture is worse because we let our personal fears and our personal icks, show up on the screen in our minds. Like, oh my gosh, I bet this happened. And then somebody else will say, no, I think this. And that's the beauty too. It's another thing. The art of the conversation. We've lost that when it comes to the movies as well, where it's like, now we're not talking about it anymore. They're already showing it to us. We don't get to have the theories as much anymore because they just show us like, well, this happened. Oh, I mean, we can have the things where it's like, well, I wish this would have happened, but now we all know, versus having those conversations of, do you think that this, I was like, I really believe this happened. I'm like, well, no, if you pay attention to this, this, and this, most likely that happened. Like, we don't really get to have those conversations as much anymore, I don't think. So what? I'm never watching your church online. What does that mean? I don't have a church. I don't know what that means. You mean the original one? Like the OG one? I've never seen the OG one. I don't know who this is. Picard is my captain. Hey, Freddie. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. You're welcome. I mean, just my opinions, my hot take. I'm very passionate about certain things that I believe. And I think at the end of the day, too, what drives me the most is just that, I mean, it's not for everybody. Well, it is for everybody in my... No, but I think also there's been a decline in creativity. Here's my theory. Hey, memes up, okay. I've never seen Deep Space Nine. I was talking to somebody recently about that, and I was like, I never even. You guys know, if you've been around here long enough, you guys understand. You guys remember, Tabitha has a terrible, terrible habit of not finishing series that she really loves. I've never finished Stargate SG-1. I've never finished Star Trek Next Gen. I've never finished Seinfeld. I have very few of my favorite TV shows have I ever finished them. I don't know why. Even video games, it's the same thing with video games. I don't know why. I love Legend of Zelda. Have I ever finished a Legend of Zelda game? No. I love Star Fox. Did I ever finish Starcraft? No. But that was also because I was too young at the time to really understand what was going on. And a lot of times I would just watch my brother play anyway. A lot of the games that I love, it's not really because I played them. It's because I watched my brother play them and I loved the story and the visuals, and I would just enjoy watching him play. Most of the games. But then I do have my personal favorites. Like I did finish Dragon Age, all the games. I did finish Mass Effect, all the games. So, there's that. There's that. It looks pretty fancy footwork there. Even in comics, they use sex scenes to establish some beautiful relationships, but it's usually still silhouettes, not full-on nudity. Well, that's the other thing too. Why do you need the nudity? You know what's happening. And that's my personal thing with, I want to make sure that what I'm watching also, the main point of my life, for me, the main point of my life is to be recognized as a child of God. And when I say that, it's not like I need the recognition. It's more of the main purpose of my life is that I live it so that other people are drawn to Christ. And I just try to be careful with things that either will hurt me. We are all susceptible to something. Let's, like scary games. I'm not saying that's necessarily religious, but I know my strengths and my weaknesses. Dear God, I had nightmares about Poppy's playtime. So I am very careful, very cautious what I subject myself to. Because I never want somebody to look at me and think, well, how could she be a Christian? Now, at the same time, I can't help what people think to a degree. Some people are just, what is it they say? Fault finders, rarely find anything else. Overly judgmental people will never really see the good things that you do. However, I don't want to give people a reason to question Christ in my life. Does that make sense? And so I do think that in cinema, a lot of the reason for the downfall, I think it all comes full circle. I think a lot of the reason for the downfall of the arts and creativity in movies, in books, video games, has to do with some moral stances where it's if we just show them everything that's taboo, the Bible is not against sexuality and things like that, right? But they have boundaries. Right? There's borders. God puts in place for our protection, for our benefit. Some people don't see it that way, but if you trust God and you read and you understand, or you just trust God even if you don't understand, you'll see it that way, right? And so when you take the boundaries off and just make everything okay, there's not interesting, right? There is the spiciness of a relationship where it's the man and the woman want each other. Let's just put it that way. Let's talk adults now. The natural inclination for a man and a woman to seek a physical relationship with one another, especially when it is okay. That's okay. And so even in cinema and stuff like that, that's that drawing point. Are they going to get together? Is it going to happen? You can tell there's tension. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But when they deny that, because of other responsibilities, it only deepens and or strengthens the interest in the viewer. And it also, adds to the drama, carries on the show. And it makes you, I think personally, it makes you respect those characters more because it's wow, they really, really desire one another. But, because the world's on fire, they have other priorities. Does that make sense? Right? But when you just start off the bat where it's oh, they like each other, bam, they's making babies. The nuance of the taboo, right? The desire of the forbidden is gone. And when nothing is forbidden, I'll be honest with you, nothing is interesting. Why do you think Eve? Well, I think that's only one part of the element, but I think why it's with Eve desiring the fruit, curiosity, the forbidden. Why are we prone to wanting the forbidden? Because of the mystery, because it's taboo, it's dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that was totally on her mind when she was going for the fruit. It was a different world back then. It was a perfect world. I don't think we'll ever be able to understand every element of what Eve and Adam were thinking at that time frame, because we've never lived in a perfect world. But all humans have a desire towards the forbidden, and we're eager for the forbidden. And that's the buildup, right? Like good storytelling is a good buildup to where you just can't control it anymore. I just need to know what's gonna happen. And then it happens, and you're like, oh man, what a great story. But when everything's just out in the open, and like the first season, the first episode, everybody's having relations, everybody's dead, everything is gore. It's like, okay, all right, I guess that was fun. Darth, how you Demos? Is that you pronounce? Cool avatar, by the way. If you allow people to use their imagination instead of trying to push your agenda, it's better for overall. Exactly, it's immersive, right? It's kind of taking it from a 2D to a 3D to a 4D kind of experience, where it's like you get to project, and that's very satisfying. I do have a very full life. Thank you for noticing. Yeah. And don't overindulge. Everybody feels icky when they overindulge, but you get just that slice. Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it has to do with being like, I'm assuming, like, see, second born, right? So it's like maybe it has something to do with the second borns, and the firstborns don't share, you know. So I don't want to talk about this. Okay, this is a sore spot for Tabitha. This close. I don't want to talk about it. You can't help someone who isn't willing to help themselves, but never doubt the power of planting a seed. Right, exactly. I cannot stop what somebody thinks about me, but I don't have to plant the seed, right? If I can't help if somebody thinks I'm a gossip, right? If they conjure the idea that I'm a gossip, I can't help that. But I can help planting the seed by actually being a gossip or not being careful with my word choice, right? There's that, right? And another part about being an adult is having conversations. If you think somebody's doing something and they're your friend or it's hurting you or whatever, talk to them, speak up. That's part of being an adult. They are. From an artistic perspective, I've never seen a sex scene in a movie or show that added anything that couldn't have been accomplished with a fade to black. Same. I've heard, look, don't come in here, I'm not saying I can't listen. I've heard people say, like with Game of Thrones, like I watched the first 3 episodes with filters because I'm very careful with what I watch. And I thought it was great. Game of Thrones, at least the first 3 episodes that I saw, really great. Of course, I love me my Sean Bean, but the story was so good, right? The characters, the everything was good. I didn't need all of the other in between. I didn't need the baby making for it to be good. But I've heard people say, well, you kind of have to watch it. You kind of have to watch it because they put pivotal plot points in those moments. And I'm like, why do you think that is? Huh? Why do you think that is? Play them games with me. Athena? We get saved. People are supposed to see Christ in us yeah, they are. Again, you can't help what people think about you, but if you're living your life for Christ, you want to make sure that people see Christ in you. It's, yeah, showing the scene just slows down the pace and distracts from the story. I don't mind, a moment between lovers. Where they're cuddling and they're snuggling, maybe to show, because sometimes that does showcase the vulnerability or the soft side. A lot of times, men, even women, they can be very tough individuals, but then you share that vulnerable moment that they're sharing with their partner where it's like, oh, they are very soft, but it's that balance. Again, the good storytelling where it's showcasing that they care about somebody else, right? They have feelings. And then the next scene you see where they're all, you know, in their uniforms, if they're a military person or something like that, and they're bossing everybody out around and they don't care. I don't mind that. But like, we don't have to see people making babies in order to know if somebody's like, because anyway. Oh no, it's Mouse. Moss, what did you come into here? I've never finished a Bethesda game. Always find the side content more interesting than main story. Yeah, so that's my history with that is my history with Skyrim. I was 13 years of my life into this game, Skyrim. I don't know how many hours, but 13 years of my life into Skyrim. And my Xbox died. And my disc is still in my Xbox, and my Xbox won't turn on. And my character was amazing. My character was all powerful. Like, Draugrs? Draugrs who? Draugrs what? Dragons? Please. Mice in comparison. And I had the scrolls. Spoiler, I had the scrolls. I just had to read them. I just had to go fight the last dragon. But I was doing the side quests. I wanted to be powerful. I was invested in the lore. Talos. Exploration. I was rich. I had like 3 houses. I had a kid. I adopted a kid. And then I accidentally made them stay in the house that was right next to, like, in a marsh where there was a cemetery with Draugrs. Not my best decision, but I had a house person with them. It's fine. They were safe. It's okay. I had a beautiful home in Markarth where I found a doggy and I left him there, making sure he was safe. Had the breeze home in Winter. Oh shoot, is it Windhelm? Yeah, whatever. And it's gone. It's gone. I know some people have been telling me that I might be able, but this was before. I think this was before. I could be wrong. I don't know all the information, but I think this is before the time frame when everything was like uploaded to clouds. Like you just played the game, you know. I don't know how all that works. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little dramatic, a little emotional. I shared this story just the other day. I text my sister-in-law, big Skyrim fan. I'm like, it's over. 13 years of my life. And I never got to finish the game. This close. And that part, I'm not sure what's worse, losing all of that or never having finished coming so close. And as I've gotten older, I have developed a touch of the OCD. So the unsettling feeling that lives within, so I don't really like talking about it. Now, some people have tried to tell me that there are ways to fix this situation. Let's see, what do we want to do with this finger? Does that look better? It's kind of cool. To rectify the sitch, I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up. I did on Steam buy the deluxe remake, remaster, whatever. It's not the same. I tried playing it, and of course I was like, there it is. The opening music, the sky. I text my sister-in-law and I'm like, there it is. This is it. This is why. but I've never gone back and played it again because there's something about it where it's like starting all over. And some people enjoy that. And I don't think that I wouldn't, but at the same time, it's knowing that I never finished and that my character's gone. Like, gone. I didn't cry. I'm an adult. But I was in the depths of despair. I wasn't in despair because to despair is to turn one's back on God, as they, as Marilla Cuthbert says, which I think about that a lot. But nevertheless, I wasn't happy that day and I had to distract myself. Human psychology often notices flaws in others that we aren't willing to notice. Yeah. And that's why trash TV is so enjoyable for a lot of people. We don't focus on ourselves. We just focus on other people and be like, what an idiot. Girl, she should have known better because he was sleeping with your whatever, Vendor was selling Xboxes for $100 and they had Skyrim. I still have my box. You can see it. I've got my Xbox controller, all of my Xbox games. And then, whoops, let me fix that. Behind Legolas there, my autographed Orlando Bloom picture, I have the shrines from the 9 divines. They kind of look like chess pieces. Let me turn this off. See, I don't want to destroy anything, though. What am I going to do with the disc? That's the thing. What am I going to do with a disc with a broken Xbox? I should have Fox finding Stonehenge. The days. Dramotional. Yeah. Genuine thank you. I feel seen. No wonder you turned to Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is the part that bothers me. Like, she's just out there. She's just out there. Waiting. Question. What is broken about the Xbox? All right. Gather around. So when I was like, let me try to fix that. Like, let me hook up my Xbox and use it again. Yeah. So I don't know enough about the technology, so maybe somebody can help me. But here's what happened. Here's what had happened this sad day 2 years ago. It was a dreary Tuesday. No, it wasn't. But anyway, it was a sunny day. But I hooked it up to the TV, everything. It turns on and it tells me it needs an update in order for anything to work. And then in order for it to work, in order for it to update, it needed to connect to the Wi-Fi. So I'm trying to get it to connect to the Wi-Fi and it won't connect to the Wi-Fi. And I do believe that I'm missing an important bit of information here because I don't remember what it said, but something popped up. Long story short, it was a perpetual cycle of nonsense. It couldn't do the update because this was missing. And in order for this missing piece, it needed to be updated. That's what I specifically remember. I think I was able to upload it connect it to the Wi-Fi. But that's why I'm saying it was a perpetual cycle of nonsense. It needed to update, but it couldn't update without this. But this wouldn't work without the update. What's a girl to do? Contact Mo Zamboni. That's what she got to do. I might do that. I might reach out to Mo Hollywood and see if he has a solution to my problem. Because again, I don't know. Look, I'm a simple gal. I like to put my game in and play. I don't know about the set. I'm learning. Thank God for like Sevi and other people, Smoo, Mo, um, the Real Joe Rosie, where they're my tech support, where I'm like, I don't know anything about bit rate and all this kind of stuff, and they help me out with that. But you know, sounds like a GP. I don't even know what this is. This sounds like some kind of educational degree that, you know, 7th graders get. I don't know what that is. My Xbox can be fixed, you say. It's an easy fix. You say, don't overpromise now. Don't get my hopes up. You're saying it can be done. Mo knows a lot about this stuff. If it's the GPU, he can probably help recover the hard drive to transfer it to another. See, that's the other thing too. It's like another Xbox. But I mean, you know, obviously I would do it so I could play the game. See, adult situations here, you know, like I have to make the sacrifice to. I have sentimentality towards this Xbox, but I could play the game if I put it in another Xbox. But meanwhile, I'm just sad that this one will be left behind. Oh no. Adult situations, what will I do? Processes graphics information. Okay. All right. See, I tell that to Sevi. I'm like, I just want to be as schmott as you one day. I want to know. I want to know what love is. Let's get this shoe. We are a little bit behind. Actually, I mean, I had nothing else to do. I was thinking about, like I said, gaming, and maybe I'll do that later. Some Crimson Desert. I have been. Brace yourselves. I have been playing Crimson Desert behind your back. But I have good reason. I have been struggling with that game, you all know. And I thought, let me play without people watching to get accustomed to things and just to really familiarize myself with this stuff. And I know, Larry, I'm sorry, calm down. I had to put me first. But so I started figuring out things more and more, but I will say, I agree. I was watching Beardo play the other day, and we both were of the same opinion. Like, there's a lot happening and a lot to remember, and it just seems like it's too much. What was it, Moss? You said that yesterday, didn't you? Like, it's like they bit off more than they could chew. Was that you, Moss, or somebody else? Where it's just there's a lot happening, and the story is weak. And if anybody knows, based on the game, what I've said before, and then based on the games that I like to play, I'm going to use Nomi's term here. I am a very story heavy girly. Ugh, that sounds disgusting. I'm very much focused on heavy storyline. That's what I enjoy about a lot of these games. It's very few games where I'm like, yeah, let's put it on hard. Okay. It's not like I don't like a challenge, but I love the story. I love being part of the story, right? More than I do beheading people. You know, sorry, I'm normal, unless you're Sevi. Yes, they're just trying to throw everything in it. It's like, what would happen if I keep saying the same thing. What would happen if, like, what is it? Like Dark Souls kind of met Assassin's Creed, kind of met Skyrim, kind of met this game, kind of did this. And it's like, okay, I don't have enough buttons on my controller to do everything. And like all the combos that you have to perform for most basic tasks, I'm not okay with that. The fact that I have to press 2 buttons and stand in just the right spot in order to talk to somebody, I'm sorry, but that bothers me. Okay. It's a peeve. It might be a little peeve. It might be a frivolous peeve. But it peeves me nonetheless because it's stupid and unnecessary. The other thing that bothers me, and it's these little things, right? It's these little things that are unnecessarily complicated, such as talking to individuals. The other thing is too, when you go to save, right? You guys are gonna laugh, but it's the fluidity of the gameplay that bothers me. So these little things that are infuriating because they're unnecessarily difficult. So when you go to save, number one, like the menu situation, that's already complicated enough and weird. Like they decided to put the save and the load menu in other. I don't know. That already is weird to me. But when you go over there and you press save, you have to, I could be mistaken though. Maybe I might use the wrong buttons, but the idea is still the same. So let me just say it's like in order to press save, you press A to save. And then they ask you, are you sure you want to save? So you press A, and then you have to save. So then you have to hold down Y. And then you either quit or play the game. I know that sounds silly, but it's the fact that you have to switch buttons, be asked a double time, and then have to hold down the button of a different button instead of just being at like save game, slot, save. That's it. But it's no. Save game, slot, save. Are you sure you want to save? Switch button, hold down button, press other button. Look, when you play games, the most basic tasks, you just want them to be simplified. Combos for fighting, I get. They can be a little bit more complicated, but saving your game, running, talking to people, these are basic actions that should not be complicated. And I think that's one of the things that just really peeves me about this game is that the things that should be easy are extraordinarily difficult, or excuse me, complicated. They're not difficult, they're complicated. The fact that it's not just me, but other people needed to either Google, ask the audience, or take a half an hour to discover how to run is a problem, in my humble opinion. I understand you want safeguards. You don't want to accidentally save a game you didn't mean to. But I understand that. But there are unnecessary steps to getting to saving a game. It's the fluidity, the pace structure for the game, for the controls is unnecessarily complicated. Yeah. How to summon your horse. Yeah, you press up and then you press down. So that I think is besides the fact that the game is not story heavy, you're just dropped into this world and you're just expected to play. I see goblin creatures everywhere. Why? Like there's no I understand that there were previous games that belong to this franchise, but you always have to have that thing in mind where what if you have brand new audience? You have to give them kind of like if you read a book series out of order, right? Every book always has a little bit of a throwback to the previous story so that you understand what's happening. Right. That's normal. Like that's what you do. Right. I read this series called Sammy Keys, and it's a mystery series, but there's also, dear God, what is this? Oh, it's a leg. Okay. I don't need that because the arm's in the way. I don't know what this is. Hang on. I need to get rid of this gun. And then what is this? Oh, it's sleeves. She has references to characters that she sees while, she lives in this town and all that kind of stuff. And she will give you like these brief, descriptions of this character, because otherwise you won't know why a certain person is the way that they do, right? So even in like, I always got to throw it back to like games like Dragon Age and stuff like that. There's always this flashback to something where it's like the Dalish, the racial divide between the elves and the humans. This particularly these Dalish elves, and there's this rivalry and stuff like that. In this game, everybody just seems hunky dory with each other. And Moss, tell me if you got this vibe. But like most of the characters that you interact with are male, and that's fine. But they're like theater kids. Have you guys noticed that the characters are always moving and it's these extreme things, and then they're literally throwing themselves on the ground and like crying and just, oh my gosh, and all of this. And I'm like, I'm a little bit confused as to the seriousness of this game. Is this game meant to be whimsical? Or is this game meant to be a little more serious? Because it kind of has that vibe, right? Of seriousness, the way it's color graded and all this kind of stuff. It looks like it's meant to be a more serious game, but the characters and the side stories are very childish, theatrical. Even the children, even not just the men, but the women and the children, like even the children are overly theatrical. Like there was this one kid where you had to save his goat, Wooly. And I mean, just throwing himself on the ground in tears and no, and oh my gosh. And I'm like, dear God. And then I saw men were doing it, grown adults, the characters were doing that too. And so, yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. Look, I'm not hating on this game. There are elements that are cool to this, but I agree with Beardo. Never thought I'd say that. I agree with Moss. Like, there's too much packed into this game that it's struggling with an identity crisis. Doesn't mean it's a terrible game, but for me, makes it difficult to form a connection with it because I don't know what the story is. I get the impression that the Greymanes are like these elite forces that live in the woods that people respect. But I don't know why are the goblins living among everybody? Why are there giants in the land? It just I don't know. Like it's and then there's yes, the mix of time period technology. Like it's kind of like a sci-fi fantasy, but only when it wants to be. Like it was kind of giving Destiny vibes, and I thought that was kind of cool, but then it's not really cohesive. So yeah, gray mains equal gray wardens. You know, but it's like they have this reputation, but at the same time it's almost like nobody cares until they need them. I don't know. Spoiler as well. Yeah, good intent doesn't mean good execution, right? There's a lot of good ideas here, but they don't seem to know where to put them all. So I was playing it yesterday. I just wanted to get further along, see how things went. And I stumbled across not stumble across, but I'm doing missions, and then everything just feels like a side quest. Even the main story feels like a side quest. And that's a little bizarre to me. Like there's no high stakes. Whoa, what's happening here? It's more of like do this, just side quests. But following the main one, and I'm getting to apparently this really like the king of the goblins or something like that. So that's when I decided to stop because I was watching Fear the Beardo play and I saw that this was like one of the head honchos and I was like, oh, I don't want my chat to miss this. So that's why I stopped playing and I saved it before defeating the king. But that's the other thing too is like, so the spoiler, if some of you've seen it, but like all of the goblins are green, which I think they're goblins. I don't know. They look like goblins. But they could be orcs. I don't know. When you go see their king, yeah, Shakatu, he's white. Why? None of the other goblins have fair skin. They're all green. Why is he? If anything, I think they should have made him a darker green. Like, that would have made him look cooler. Now he just looks like an old white dude with big ears. I mean, that's just my personal preference. But anyway, I just don't understand. Like, there's just these little elements that just take me out of the game where I'm just sitting there going, why? Instead of going, oh, that's cool, I'm like, huh, and trying to make sense of things. So, like I said, not saying it's necessarily a terrible game, but the more that I play it, the more I'm like, what is happening? Why am I here? Because, I saw some people saying like a sandbox game, right? You just do whatever you want to, live your life. You don't even have to focus on the main story. Sure, no problem. I did that with I just said I did that with Skyrim. 13 years of my life into a game that I never finished the complete storyline. I came close, but not fully, right? But I knew what the main story was about. I knew, from the beginning, what the story is about. I don't know. See you, DL. Monday. That's right. Back to the grind. Official brush hour on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't be late. But, again, I'm still giving the game a fair shake, but I am like over 10 hours in. And I'm just having to come to the conclusion that I'm playing this like it feels like homework. But I also, like I told Moss, it's been a long time since I've played maybe a tougher game, right? And so I could just be out of sorts on that. I could be so used to Fortnite that I have forgotten what a real game is like, what a challenge it can be. All right, why is this not finished here? Oh, because it's blocked by the gun. Well, let's at least finish it here, even if it's going to get blocked. We'll just put that in there so there's something. And then we're going to leave that blank because that's going to get filled in by green. I'll figure that out later. And then we're going to do I'm going to go to the head here. We're going to get this color for the skin. Go ahead and do... No, it's a little too thick. I don't like that either. Certain shapes look better. We'll try it. Maybe if I make this a little thicker, something like that. No. 10 hours, that's very little. I'm 27 into Hollow Knight. Well, I mean, the game just came out, Maria. But you're halfway through the game. See, I'm not even halfway through the game. But it shouldn't take 10 hours for me to wonder, is this game going to get better? I have a feeling I'll pick it up before too long. I'm about 7 hours in, and I think I'm about where you're at, but the replay value might not be there. So, yeah, replay value for me is definitely not there. I have come to that conclusion. You know what's odd, Moss? Is that as much as I'm in this place where as much as I admit that this game frustrates the living heck out of me, there's a call to continue playing this game. There is enough mystery there for me to be like, surely it gets better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because, I'm playing this quote unquote for other people or what exactly it is, but there is some kind, as much as this game infuriates me, there is a draw to this game of, I'm going to go back to it. Yeah, you heard it too. You feel that way too? Like, it's not great gameplay, but somehow I feel like I need to keep playing it. What kind of drug is this? Considering you spent 13 years on Skyrim, that might be a big deal. You've played Skyrim, right, Mose? Yeah, but Maria, you like Hollow Knight. I'll tell you what, I really don't like Crimson Desert. I don't really like it. I am simultaneously bored of it and addicted to it at the same time. I don't understand. Like, it bothers me a little bit that I don't understand. You know who would explain this really well besides Clarissa is the real Joe Rosie. She and I talk about like psychology sometimes, and Joe has a really good grasp sometimes on these things or good theories on these things. I'm going to ask her. I'm going to text her today. And wow. No, that's not to say I never restarted. I did try new characters. I did create a new character at one point, but I was like, I got to go back to my girl, Hylia. That's what I named my high elf. Everyone's saying that about the addiction, the weird addiction to this game. Well, you like Hollow Knight, though, right? Like, you like it. Like, you like it so much that you made the little character. Yeah. You like it, you're going to play the game. It looks super cute, super radical. I think it's memorable. Nothing about Crimson Knight is memorable to me thus far. Like, it just seems like it's a generic fantasy game. And I don't understand why I keep wanting to play this game. I'm concerned. I'm a concerned citizen, guys. I'm concerned. I have questions. Questions that need answering. Clarissa, I understand. Thank you. I was glad somebody did. I just dropped it and just want to see where it landed, you know. Addicted to tending his crops. I know Sevi was trying to convert all the cats to thievery. That was like Sevi's goal, was to get the cats to serve her so that they would steal from people. Yes, the controls for Crimson Desert are more memorable than the game itself, sir. Well, yeah. Melissa Joan Hart. I thought she was pretty. She's cute. I remember running home. I say running home. I remember getting home from church on Sundays because that's when Clarissa would play. That's when she was on. And trying to watch that, like, I would undress as quickly as possible because I knew my family wasn't going to watch it. I was a little kid back then. And I try to watch as much as I possibly could of it before my dad would change channel. My last weekend here, hopefully all the snow is gone. Been a long month. I hope you go back to warmer weather, Cole Hauser. It was so great to be able to see you and hang out with you. Man, he was working hard for the money, man. I went up to Cole Hauser. I'm like, it's a lot, isn't it? MegaCon. What about Stray? Did I like? I did. I actually think about it sometimes and wish that there was a sequel or something like that to it. I kind of miss it. I don't want to play it again, but I would love a continuation of it. I think there is just an air of mystery about the world that you need answered. Once that question is answered, you might not want to play. I think the question, Moss, I think the question about this game is, what is the point? And I am so hell-bent on discovering the point of this game. I think that's what it is. I do. I need an answer. I need an answer. Hey, it's a difficult game. It's a horror game. Don't forget, Tabitha subjected herself to horrors beyond your ken. Okay. Nigel! I've got a hot take on Crimson Desert that might be uncomfortable for the gaming sphere at large. Hit us! You know, it's not Tuesday, but you know what? Hit us, Nigel. Hit us where it hurts. All right, we're gonna finish Here we go. While we wait for Nigel and his hot take, I'm going to try to get this line work accomplished. And then my really sad possum, like, mouse sketch of the Star Fox sigil. But it's fine. It's okay. It's just meant to get the job accomplished, you know. You do? Don't be lying out here, Patrick. I mean, you could do that in Skyrim too, you know. It's just saying. Eventually. Grape is hell-bent on getting me to play Star Trekker. We'll return there one day. One day. There's just too many things to be done, man. All right. Here we go. I feel like Crimson Desert got hyped up by the gamers at large. To put it side by side with the Lesbian Night game that came out recently. But Crimson Desert turns out to be a bit of a mid game. So that might not be, might not be far off from that. I know Sevi, when I told her that I had been gifted Crimson Desert, she was like, oh, okay. She's like, well, the thing is, there's a lot of speculation. She told me, because she keeps up with these things that more than I do. She said there was a lot of hype for this game and people were really concerned that it wasn't going to deliver because it was so overhyped. So Nigel, you know. You didn't get past that? I'm still at the tutorial part of Stray. Maria. You need to face the demonic hedgehogs, otherwise you'll never get the full grasp of how horrific Stray is. Powerful. The game. But that's the thing. I don't know why I'm powerful, Moss. My character, Cliff. I don't know why Cliff is special. I have no indication as to why Cliff is special. I got to bring it back around to Skyrim, where it's like, like you're a nobody, and you're trying to figure out why you're special, and then suddenly you know because you're Dragonborn. You're unique. You are special. That's all you got. Dragon Age 2. You're special. Also, depending on which storyline you click. If you click mage, you know that you're unique and special because what you do is forbidden. It's taboo. It's frowned upon. Right. I'm just one element, one aspect. It just most games, like if you play Knights of the Old Republic, gosh, it's been forever and a day since I've played Knights of the Old Republic. I'm trying to remember how it starts off, but like, you kind of know you're special. I don't know why Cliff is special. Is he a prince? Is he the best fighter for the Greymanes? Is he the chief? I don't know. Are the Greymanes an interracial group of people? Are they a clan? Or is it a club? Because we saw Unka was there, and he's like some orc goblin creature. Was he the one that was in charge? I don't know. I freaking love Star Fox Adventures. Freaking loved it. But the not knowing, I think Moss is right, is what's compelling me to find out. I suppose I could just look online, but there's a part of me that's like, no, you gotta play it. You can't just look. I gotta find out. I need to know. All right, I'm gonna do the pew pew here, and I'm gonna get rid of the fingers. Where are you? We're gonna do this. No, I think I need them to kind of help. All right, we're gonna do the gun in a slightly darker color. And I might make it in the purplish family just for fun, you know. Okay, thank you. It has been a hot minute since I have played this game. Like, maybe I need to go back and play it. I haven't played in a long time. All right, this is a little bit bent, so I think I need to straighten. No. And it's still kind of curved because of the natural inclination of the hand. There we go. Nope. You can be 3 different characters in Crimson Desert, but Cliff is the only one that you can progress the story with, so a majority of the upgrades should go. When was there an option to be a different character? Did I miss that? Or does that come later? I don't remember being offered options. What did I miss out on? I'm confused. What? Was that why they made a big deal out of that one woman and then Unka? Oh, they come later. Never mind. Okay. Because the what am I going to say? The clip, the I don't know what they're called. The clips, cutscenes. Like they made it seem like that one woman was important, but then she just disappeared. We never heard from her again, so I have to assume she is important. I don't know. I've just come to the startling realization, remembrance that I have not eaten yet. And Tabitha's hungry. It's almost it's lunchtime. So I will say kudos to the company of Crimson Desert. I don't know who makes it. I don't care. For making a game that is so frustrating and simultaneously addicting. I hate you. I hate it. It's so nonsensical. I should just quit. But I'm in some kind of like toxic relationship with this game. I must keep going. I'm invested now. Not all of them. Some of them, because I hate the notifications. But the other thing is too, and I think I know where Moss is going to go with this, and I oh, did I do this on the wrong layer? No, I did this on the right layer. Is that I've messed up somewhere? Is that I always have to go back. Look, this is what I do. Okay, like if you guys get tired of Skyrim, sorry, but it will be my comparison. I think it's one of the best open world-ish, games ever made. Okay, you didn't have to read all the knowledge books in Skyrim to know what was happening. You could if you wanted a deeper understanding. I just want a general understanding of what's happening in Crimson Desert. Lady Marie, good morning. Good afternoon. Good morning and good afternoon. Yeah, be sure to subscribe to Maria. She will be going live. She'll be taking off after I take off, I'm sure. That looks stupid. These are 2 bulky lines. I don't like it. I think one side could be bigger, but I don't like the whole thing. Let's play with it. Walk with me, as Anne would say. Let's talk about it. I don't like that. But see, now it's like inconsistent. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okie day. Oh, thank you. You don't want to hug me right now. I'm getting over the con crud. I'm almost over it. I'm over. I mean, I'm already over it, but like, physically, I'm almost. You can hear Megatron. Ooh, what are we doing? What are we dabbling in? Spill. You can't just say that and not give us the deets. I feel like this sickness has made me more girly than I ever have been in my life. Apologies. I mean, I shouldn't have to apologize for being female, but at the same time, I'm like, you, Tabitha, you're really being girly today. And that's not a problem, but it is kind of weird. I don't know. Is this normal for me? Maybe it is. Catching cooties. I don't have cooties. I have concrud. All right. I need to get rid of this. All the layers because I'm having a difficult time understanding what it is that I'm drawing. I should have done this on a different layer. I can't believe I did this on the same layer as the head. Or, excuse me, as like the fingers and stuff. What a douche move on my part. That's okay. Food Channel. Mo gave me a Carolina Reaper hot sauce to review. Oh, that would be so cool. Okay, I'm not the only one being girly here. Oh, Slay, you got this, King. Maria. Oh, Maria is so great. I'm so glad we're friends. Spill the tea. No cap. Look at you. I think you've been hanging around Nomi too much. Nomi and I, like, Nomi has this effect on people where, like, you start saying things you don't normally say. She's the keeper of the slang in my corner anyway. When I don't know, sometimes Joe will let me know. She's like, well, from what I understand, the kids say, and then Nomi will verify. She's like, oh yeah, they totally say that. I'm like, how? You hear it every day. Yeah. Okay. I was at the booth, the Geeks and Gamers booth, helping out, selling the merchandise. And this lovely lady came by with her son. And what was it about? Height? I don't know, something like this. A certain amount. And her son was like 14 or something like that. A little bit socially awkward, as we all were. I totally understood. She was trying to get him to make sure he was making eye contact with people, but he was talking to like Krista, pretty girls and stuff like that. And he was a little bit awkward. And but it's fine. It's fine. And I was trying to ask him questions just to make him feel comfortable about stuff. And I was asking, do you like this or that? And I forget exactly what it was, but I can't help it. Like, I wasn't intentionally trying to do the meme, but it just happened and I just leaned into it. And I was like, well, do you like 6 or 7? He kind of started. I'm like, 6, 7? I think it was height. We were talking about something about maybe how tall he was. I think it was because he was rather tall. Like, how tall do you think you're gonna get? 6, 7? And I was like 6, 7. And he's like, and we had a laugh. And I told him, like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. It was terrible. I just felt so old. I'm not old, but I felt old. I'm not old yet. I'm not dead yet. All right. Well, so his hand's covering the rest of it, so I guess we don't technically need the rest. All right. So let's fill in the blanks here. Let's take away our sketch pieces. We're missing the ascot. And all right, let's make the ascot a separate layer. Why not? And we're just going to go ahead and do that in red because it is red. Holla at your boys. I don't like that. I mean, I did, but it didn't mesh. Oops. Okay. Let's take a step back. Ah! The tail is missing. That is a huge part of the component. All right. We're almost done here. It's only taken me 2 hours to do the simplest task. Excuse me. I coughed right into that. I am so sorry. Nice. Okay. I don't know. That kind of looks like a rubber duck that's turning into a slug. Am I wrong? I don't like that. Let's hang on. Let's freewheel it. How do they say it? Free ball it? No. I don't know what that means. It sounds kind of gross. But it could mean nothing and I'm just surrounded by boys all the time. I don't know. That's like this is a nice tail, but it kind of looks a little skunky, doesn't it? What is this? Sometimes the math ain't mathin', but passes the vibe check. Look at Maria. Gucci. Oh my gosh. Tabs, are you gonna have a booth at MegaCon next year? I don't know. I've thought about it. I think when it gets to about June or July, I'm gonna make a decision. I have to see if it would be viable because like the cheapest booth I think at MegaCon is like $500. And that's okay. I mean, it's a big event. In the big scheme of things, it's not really that much money. But it is, depending on how much you plan to make in return. You're competing with thousands of other people. It's good exposure, but is it worth, all exposure, I guess, is good exposure, but it's still, I have to see where I'm planning to be at next year. I've got to get some life things situated and then talk with my people about it. Because it's no fun being in a booth by yourself. So I would maybe talk with one of my friends or something. I potentially will be at a convention this year with my wares. So I'm going to see how that goes as well. I'm not announcing it too heavily just because I want to make sure I have everything in order and whatnot. But I've thought about it. I thought about it last year and I was like, nah, that's just not going to work out. But I'm going to think about it for next year. One thing for sure, I need better equipment if I'm going to make videos. You don't need too much, as much as you think, risk it. It depends on what you're doing. But honestly, content is more about the personality than it is about the thing. And a good iPhone will do it. Like a lot of the vlogs that I film and whatnot, I just use my phone. I have a simple microphone system, which apparently did not, like, I'm not sure what happened. I went back and looked at my stuff from my MegaCon vlog videos, and the sound was a little distorted. I don't know if it was because of the transfer situation, but normally it's good. It's great for picking up audio. But I've got a little microphone system that I don't know if you've got plenty of people in your circle that'll give you advice, but it's not as complicated as you think it needs to be. Don't die of overexposure. Hell no. Oh, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. Having a booth at a con has been on my mind for a couple of years. Well, make your way down to MegaCon, Maria. I've not really done conventions, but I've done art shows before. So it's not like it's out of my wheelhouse. It's not like I don't have experience. I got the experience. I know what it entails. And so that's just the thing. It's also, again, it's all about profit because you have to have XYZ of this product. And you have to make, so not only are you spending the money for the booth, but you're spending the money for the profit. Or excuse me, you're spending the money for the product. And you have to hope and pray that out of the sea of people are drawn to you. So I would have to make more than $500 because I would have to print everything and all the stuff that goes along with it. So you're not looking at just $500 because I don't have the stuff at the moment. I would have to create my inventory. I would have to create an inventory. That inventory, depending on how much of whatever I have, you know, you're looking at several extra $100 to have that. So, for the cheapest booth at MegaCon plus your products, you could easily be looking at $1,000+ not only that, you have to think about parking, all that stuff, food, all that stuff. So you have to look at that in the grand scheme of things. It's not just the $500, it's your product. It's you got to get the square or whatever it is that you're using for people to pay and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. And then you have to see, am I going to make good on my return? Again, it's one of those things where advertisement is great. You can always make money. You could always even make money in the future, but you are competing. I literally, and my heart goes out to them, walked past so many booths that were in good spots. Looked like they had great stuff. Nobody was at their booth. And that's devastating. Now, that was over the course of 4 days. Maybe they just didn't have enough people on Friday. Maybe they just didn't have people on Saturday, but they had people on Thursday. It always happens. But it's still devastating. It's that risk factor of going the entire day, the entire weekend, and not selling a single product. But that's just part of, we got to live like a fool, right? You got to put yourself out there. Got to put yourself out there. I don't know if I like this tail because it's too squirrely. Is that maybe the sea? If I look at the reference, the sea slug duck is what he has. So let's trust the process. Obviously, mine's slightly different, but let's go with the sea slug duck and just see what happens. Maybe it's this line is too much. Something like that. There we go. The sea slug ducktail. Woo! So, he's still, I have to play around with some of the outline and whatever, but there is our star fox. I'm going to make sure that I do this also in black. So today I'll work on this where I turn this into a printable PDF files and then I'll upload it for funsies coming off of MegaCon week. I'll make it available for everybody, not just members, not just patrons. I'll make it free and available for everybody. I would love it if you printed it out, if you colored it, and then if you took a picture of it, uploaded it either to social media, or if you want to go to the Artist Alley, the free chat over on my Patreon, and post what you've done, how you've colored it. That would be cool. Maybe I'll take the time to, if I have the time, to color this by hand. It's been a while since I've worked with my markers and stuff. Maybe I'll do that. It'd be kind of a fun tutorial if I have the time. Send it to me. All right. Well, I will make it available. I'll make it available today, and it's up to you if you want to color it and print it and all that kind of stuff. Horny Elf I saw was Heel. Hey, Heel. The sea slug duck. Yeah, there's something about it. Maybe when I get the coloring on it, it won't look so much like a sea slug duck. Something local. Maria, you got to live life loud. Like a fool. I was MegaCon busy. It was good, but it was a little exhausting. Exhausting. Although this whole sea slug duck thing is now growing on me, so Comic-Con. Yeah, you should. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. It is. It is. More information about that. My money isn't coming in like a fool. Maybe if you acted more like a fool, you would get more money. I don't know. Look at me. I'm talking about nothing important. Well, that's not true. But I don't know what I'm saying. I think I'm delirious from not having eaten anything. I need to do that. Yeah, work. You sound like Maria. Work. I kid. Maria, I would send people over to you, but you're not live. Missed opportunity. Everybody, I have to go because I can sense my body is like, we need to cough. And I don't want to put that on you, but I will make this available for everybody for free. You just have to come to the community tab post. Look for that later on. That's where this will be available. It's not like I email this out to people or whatever like that. Like you have to intentionally come back here, or subscribe to my channel, get notified. But I think you get notified if you subscribe, but also if you get ring the bell, like turn that toggle on, you'll get notified when I drop the posts too. Just in case you're gonna want to do that, just because, there you go. So we'll get this available to you, clean it up a little bit because I think I overdid some of the elements. It's fine. It's been a long year today. So 2.5 hours in for our special edition of Brush Hour. Looking forward to the Mario movie. There's another reason it worked out perfectly. You guys remember that because with your help, we created this Mario, and I wanted to be like, well, all right, I'll let you guys in on a little thing, but there's gonna be an upcoming poll. Don't answer here. But you know how we did like Mortal Kombat where it was Kitana versus Sub-Zero, who would win, right? And I never really did a poll on that, but we're gonna do it for Mario. And now that we've got our second character, who would win in a fight? Mario, or would it be Fox McCloud? We will find out. Thank you all for being here. You are great in my life. I hope that you have a great rest of the day. If I'm feeling up to it, if my voice is feeling up to it, we might play some video games. But until next time, everybody, tell that guy over on Kick that he's a wicked pervert and needs to repent, and that his mother is very ashamed of him. See you, everybody.
In your eyes, so true. Let me call